Yes, I'm live now, Bangkok and Seoul, for the latest discussion on the court's decision to remove President Park Geun-hye, which of course is a big story. Lisita, you are now in the newsroom of Korea Herald, right?
Yes.
Okay. What does it? What?
At the Constitutional Court building now.
Oh, you are great. So
Yes.
you are right on the scene, right?
Yes.
So what does it mean to the Korean people and to the world in general?
Well, because Koreans have actually taken to the streets relentlessly to remove Park from office.
Yes.
So people are generally happy because according to local poll released yesterday,
Yes.
70% of people were in support of Park's impeachment.
Yes.
But then there are very loyal supporters of Park who have been against of the impeachment.
Yes.
So, but in general, I think people are generally content to the result of the court decision.
Mm-hmm. And that means that in the next 60 days there will be an interim president.
Though for the next 60 days, still Prime Minister Hwang Kyo-ahn will serve as an acting president, and then South Korea will enter a full swing to have the presidential election. So yes, it should happen within 60 days, and then local people think that it will fall on May 9th this year. Yes, before the 60 days expires.
Right.
Yes.
What are the scenarios of the election? The opposition may win the election or not?
Yeah, that is overwhelming expectation because many of Korean people think the ruling party, the Liberty Korea Party, did not really do a good job, so that their from the party has really failed. So that's why they have more hope on the candidates, especially Moon Jae-in. He's a frontrunner in the liberal bloc now.
And that means that the policy from the new South Korean government will be different from the current one.
Yes, we think so, because President Park Geun-hye has focused on liberalizing the market, deregulating the market for especially very big companies like Samsung and LG and Hyundai, and then also put so much focus on creative economy and things like that. And then in terms of the security, they put so much focus on strengthening security by deploying THAAD, anti-US.
Right. And
but then many of the leading presidential contenders, they are a bit cautious about how to develop relationship in North Korea, and how to economy, and how to put more regulations on the economy, same time generating jobs as well. So it is going to be different, very different, because Park Geun-hye was a conservative politician, and then obviously the Moon Jae-in and others, the liberal bloc, they have very different views, especially about North Korea security and economy in general. Yes.
As far as North Korea is concerned, what is the difference between the current government policy and the opposition position?
In general, it is very complicated issue. But in general, liberal bloc, they emphasize the cooperation and conversation and communication with North Korea, and to restore some kind of trust, so that we don't have this tit for tat attacks between these countries. But then the conservative leaders, they emphasize the security, put a priority on the security of this country first, rather than conversations or develop amicable relationship in North Korea. So basically that is, the conservative government, they want a change from the North Korean government first, in terms of destabilizing the country and giving up weapons and stuff like that.
Right.
But like the liberal government, they focused more on developing good relationship first, so that like South Korea could like try to kind of like change the North Korean regime in its own favor, and then just develop and cooperation on the Korean Peninsula. So that is gonna be different, especially after like 10 years of conservative government.
Right.
And then the situation in Korean Peninsula is so unstable.
Yeah.
Especially with the Mr. Trump, Donald Trump in the U.S. like
Right.
flying in,
Right.
and they want us to like pay more for the security. So,
Sure.
yes. So there are going to be so many changes from now on, and then the next 6 days is going to be very, very crucial for the South.
Very
yes.
crucial. Do you think Donald Trump prefers this government or the opposition?
Sorry?
Do you think Donald Trump likes the current government or the incoming government, the opposition at the moment?
We don't know.
You don't know. You don't know.
First of all, as you know, like Donald Trump is really unpredictable. I'm very cautious to say this.
Yeah. No one knows, huh?
Yes, I'm not.
What about North Korea? What about North Korea? You think North Korea would like the new government that would replace Park better?
Well, it is a general perception
Yeah.
that the liberal president had better relationships with North Korea. So I could only assume, but as we all know, Kim Jong-un is
Also unpredictable.
So we really
Don't know. You don't really know. But you know, the recent series of events, you know, Kim Jong-un, firing the missiles into the Sea of Japan, and then this murder in Kuala Lumpur, has all complicated the whole issue of relationship between North Korea and the rest of the world, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So what to the common Korean person on the street, what does it mean, the change today?
The change today, for them, it is actually a victory of people.
Yeah.
It is a confirmation that everybody is equal before the law, even the president. So it was a confirmation of that kind of the rule of law and the democracy in this country.
Yes.
And then South Koreans are generally happy, and they think it is a big victory for them. And then they hope that society can move on, like from, as the impeachment as some kind of stepping stone, so they can develop into like fairer society, and then more working democracy for all.
Right.
So yes, I think that is their perception. But it is also important to mention there are so many very loyal fans of President Park who are mostly in their like 60s and 70s and 80s, and they are so diehard fans of Park Geun-hye, and we don't know like whether they will be really accepting the court's decision, because they really believe that the court and the whole trial system was totally biased against the president and in favor of North Korea, pro-North Korean sympathizers.
Wow.
It's actually like two people who are protesting on the streets today, just nearby the court. Right after the verdict, two people actually died of some kind of injuries, but we don't know yet what caused those injuries. So that is kind of sign of like violent clashes that can happen for the next few weeks, because it is very difficult for these banks, like voters, to accept this ruling. They have taken issue with the legitimacy of the impeachment process in the first place, and they believed like the President Park should be judged by the 9-justice court system, not instead of the 8-justice court system. So,
For the supporters of President Park, what do they like about her?
Basically, they have deep nostalgia nostalgia about her father.
Her father, right.
Former president, and who many call actually a dictator.
Yeah.
And during his administration, Korea has developed so fast, as you know, and the world knows. Like, economy grew so fast, and then we got prosperous and everything.
Yeah.
And especially because they were born in or during or after the Korean War.
Right.
So they still have very vivid memories about this, like poverty
right.
and fear about the communist regime.
Yeah.
So we think, because I have been on the street so many times to cover this kind of like pro-park rallies.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, what I felt was that they feared North Korea, and those who they think could sympathize with North Korea rather than they really love or like President Park Geun-hye. Yeah.
So it's the fear rather than love, right? Fear of the North Koreans rather than love for the president.
Yeah, they have so much fear about the communist regime.
What about what about people of your generation?
My generation, it is their perception that the people of my generation, they took to the streets against the President Park Geun-hye, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
So many young people, they called for democracy, they called like Park's resignation in the name of upholding democracy, rule of law, and then fairness of the society and everything. But obviously, these Park Geun-hye supporters, they call us brainwashed.
Brainwashed.
Like young generation.
Brainwashed by the North, or what? Really?
And they believe that, like, pro-North Korea teachers brainwash them through wrong history textbooks, and they think they are the ones who can save the liberal democracy, which is a foundation of this country. And they believe that if, like, liberal presidential hopefuls like Moon Jae-in is elected as president, he'll go to North Korea first, and he will yield to North Korea and then overturn the government. Yes, it sounds a little bit like exaggerated or even crazy, but that is what I heard from these supporters of Park Geun-hye on the street.
Sure. No, people of your generation would have no clear memory of Park Chung-hee.
Yeah, no.
Were you born yet? Were you born yet when Park Chung-hee was in power?
No. Mostly young generation. They were born in 80s and 90s. Yes, so they were already living in a very prosperous country. Right. So we don't really have any memories about, like, North Korea, war, or poverty. The society changed too quickly. Economy grew so fast. So basically, these old generation, the young generation, they have very, very bad, very different memories about like things going on in the society. So yes, like, the country really witnessed very divide in the society on the lines of, like, political ideology, as well as this generation.
After today's event, is there a sense of instability or increased sense of instability in your country?
Yes, it remains to be seen. But obviously, like, because of the North Korea is in kind of unstable condition in light of all the events, like in Jeonnam's death in Malaysia and everything like that. So the Prime Minister and Acting President Wang Geun actually called for like strengthening the readiness against all this kind of instability. But we will have to see, because it just happens today. And I'm sorry, I'm not an expert in every sector. So.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, yes.
That's it. The United States has just delivered the THAAD system, THAAD, right, to South Korea, right?
Sorry.
The United States has just delivered the THAAD system, the anti-missile system.
Anti-missile system.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Does that give more confidence to the South Korean people?
Well, because it is also very deeply hugely divided issue. Many people see it very crucial to be deployed in the country to prevent, like, to cope with, to deter North Korea's aggression. But some experts and many of the public, they also believe that it's very important to keep a good relationship with China too. In terms of economy, we need a lot of cooperation, and we already have very good trade ties and everything. And some even raise questions about the effectiveness of the THAAD itself in this country, whether it can actually effectively deter North Korean missile aggression. So it is still very divided issue, and the government is pushing to deploy it around this summer before the presidential election is actually held, because otherwise just everything.
And during the election, election campaign, that will become a hot campaign issue too, I think.
It has been a very hot campaign issue, and now engagement is confirmed that it's gonna be again very, very hot issue, stoking discussion among all presidential contenders, so that people will see who is leaning towards the THAAD deployment and who is not, and things like that. Obviously, the public also is very split over this issue. So for practical hopefuls, I don't think it is very easy to make a sense clearly.
So, I wish you and the Korean people, a proper transition period, a decent transition period.
Yes, I hope so. Obviously, we have a good system, democratic system, so we will have an election. There will be some hiccups and some kind of confusion and uncertainty.
I know. It's not an easy time. To go through anyway. So thank you very much, Lasika. This is a great cooperation between members of Asia News Network, ANN, and Korea Herald, and then in South Korea, and the nation in Bangkok are now linked up over social media to discuss the latest breaking news for everyone to see. And it goes throughout the world. People can come into my Facebook account and look back at the clip that we just discussed. So I hope I can bother you again when there is any new development.
I hope I could help because, as you know, I might have limited experience.
No, it's okay. It's great. As a young reporter with on the ground, I think our audience will benefit from your own reporting from the ground. So thank you very much, Lasika.
Thank you.
I will be in touch. Thank you. Again, have a good luck.
Bye.
ครับนี่ครับที่ติดตามอยู่ขณะนี้สดร้อนๆครับระหว่างกรุงโซลกับกรุงเทพที่ผมนี่แหละครับรายงานวิเคราะห์สถานการณ์ล่าสุดที่ประธานาธิบดีปาร์คกึนเฮของเกาหลีใต้ถูกศาลมีคำสั่งปลดจากตำแหน่งพ้นจากตำแหน่งเพราะคอร์รัปชันและเมื่อสักครู่ที่วิเคราะห์ก็คือว่าจากนี้ไป60วันต้องเลือกตั้งใหม่และหวังคิดว่าพรรคฝ่ายค้านจะเข้ามาก็จะเกิดความเปลี่ยนแปลงอย่างใหญ่โตในการเมืองของเกาหลีใต้ซึ่งก็จะกระทบต่อความสัมพันธ์ต่อเกาหลีเหนือไม่รู้ว่ารัฐบาลใหม่จะมีความสัมพันธ์ใกล้ชิดขึ้นหรือว่าห่างเหินกว่าเดิมแต่ว่าที่ผ่านมารัฐบาลคือพรรคอนุรักษ์นิยมแข็งกร้าวกับเกาหลีเหนือทางฝ่ายพรรคฝ่ายค้านซึ่งค่อนข้างเสรีนิยมมีความต้องการจะสร้างสัมพันธ์กับเกาหลีเหนือให้ดีขึ้นแต่ตอนนี้โดนัลด์ทรัมป์เป็นประธานาธิบดีมีความสัมพันธ์กับเกาหลีใต้อย่างชัดเจนเนี่ยทรัมป์ไม่ชอบเกาหลีเหนือแน่ต้องดูว่าผลการเลือกตั้งถ้ารัฐบาลเปลี่ยนเป็นอีกพรรคหนึ่งฝ่ายค้านจะเกิดอะไรขึ้นนักข่าวเมื่อสักครู่ครับเลซิก้าออกเป็นนักข่าวเกาหลีรุ่นใหม่พูดภาษาอังกฤษคล่องแคล่วและบอกกับเราว่าคนรุ่นใหม่ต่อต้านคอร์รัปชันต่อต้านประธานาธิบดีแต่คนรุ่นเก่าเนี่ยยังจำถึงอดีตคุณพ่อของประธานาธิบดีคนปัจจุบันคือปาร์คจุงฮีซึ่งเป็นเผด็จการอำนาจเบ็ดเสร็จเด็ดขาดเมื่อ30กว่าปีก่อนแต่ว่าได้สร้างคุณูปการสร้างความเจริญรุ่งเรืองทางเศรษฐกิจให้กับเกาหลีใต้อย่างยิ่งคนรุ่นเก่าจึงยังคิดถึงและสนับสนุนลูกสาวที่เป็นประธานาธิบดีที่เพิ่งถูกปลดออกแต่คนรุ่นใหม่ไม่ต้องการคนรุ่นใหม่ไม่มีความทรงจำใดๆเกี่ยวกับอดีต จอมเผด็จการคนนั้นต้องการความเป็นธรรมนิติรัฐแล้วก็มีความดีใจมากที่แม้กระทั่งประธานาธิบดีก็ถูกสอยได้ถ้าโกงถ้าคอร์รัปชันแปลว่าประชาธิปไตยของเกาหลีใต้บัดนี้อยู่ในภาวะที่น่าชื่นชมน่ายินดีนี่คือสถานการณ์ล่าสุดจากข่าวร้อนระดับโลกเกาหลีใต้ศาลปลดนายกประธานาธิบดีและกำลังเข้าสู่ภาวะของความไม่แน่นอนสูงอย่างยิ่งครับขอบคุณทุกท่านที่ติดตามนี่คือข่าวร้อนล่าสุดผ่านสุทธิชัยไลฟ์สำหรับทุกท่านสวัสดีครับ